Hey everyone, it's time to get caught up on last week's top trending AI news. At Meta Connect 2025, the live demo for the new Ray-Ban display smart glasses hit some embarrassing glitches. The $799 flagship device misfired during tasks like making a cooking assistant follow steps or initiating a video call via its neural wristband. Meta later blamed Wi-Fi issues and internal overloads. So this is a perfect example of Murphy's Law going into effect. And this is exactly why both of us actually pre-record our demos before we go out and do a presentation professionally, because it would be things like the Wi-Fi not working or something going wrong, like a network crashing, and would really be embarrassing to happen live on stage. Exactly. And I think what made this even more this eye-catching was that, this was following the leak that happened. We got a glimpse of the Ray-Bans through a leak that happened from the YouTube page. So There was already some kind of hype about, some of the features like the neural band and, its display. And then when it came to actually, performance day, now we're wondering, was it truly ready for prime time? So that's became, unfortunately, the new headline regarding the Ray-Bans. Yeah, I think overall people can probably agree that it may have been the Wi-Fi. It may not have been the Ray-Ban himself, but it definitely isn't a good headline for them, especially when they have competition from so many other new smart glasses coming out. The last thing they need is this type of publicity. OpenAI is actively hiring former Apple employees as it builds its first consumer devices. According to the information, OpenAI has secured a contract with Luxshare and has approached Gore-Tech, both Apple suppliers, to provide components like speaker modules for its upcoming AI gadgets. The first products, which can include AI-powered wearables, smart speakers, or glasses, are reportedly targeted for release in late 2026 or early 2027. Right, so this was very interesting to me to see OpenAI going into the hardware space, but I think it makes sense. We have things like Meta, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all of these big tech giants with AI and software, having hardware expansions that utilizes these different technologies. So it's not surprising to me that OpenAI would actually say, hey, let's make our own hardware devices and embed it with our own AI technology. And, this could be a good way of making money, as far as losing money from just AI alone. But I think, of course, the bigger headline is that they're pretty much utilizing Apple resources to kickstart this initiative. Yeah, I think that to me, this closely follows the news that, Microsoft wouldn't be solely relying on OpenAI. And currently, Apple products do. The iPhone uses ChatGPT. Very true. And so I think this is OpenAI kind of also preparing for that future where, hey, a lot of people like their products and their software. So what if we make the hardware and then we make that kind of like the big push of why you should purchase their phones or assistants or whatever hardware they're putting out. So I think that obviously Apple has been a leader in revolutionizing the smartphone industry. And so what better resources do they have than using Apple's own internal talent to bootstrap their push into hardware? But, I think Apple should probably be concerned about this and perhaps do the Siri news a lot more sooner than later. Yeah. Google is rolling out Gemini integration in Chrome for US desktop users, bringing powerful agentic browsing capabilities like multi-tab summarization, cross-app integration, and automated tasks. More features will be heading to mobile and workspace in the coming weeks. All right, so I'm not particularly a Chrome user. I actually use things like Firefox and the Brave browser just for more privacy, but seeing things like agentic AI pretty much embedded everywhere now, I can imagine that it was a natural fit for it to now come to web browsers like Chrome. So for me, I can imagine this being somewhat of a privacy concern with, how much the AI is gathering data just from, going through all your web browsing history and stuff like that. But I think that it will only be a matter of time personally before all of the browsers eventually are embedded with agentic AI. So I think that's probably the trade-off, but it does have pretty much useful features that I imagine you can take advantage of as long as what you're looking at is not so sensitive. Right. Microsoft continues expanding Copilot's footprint. The assistant is now available within Teams chat and channels to help with action items and summarizing threads. Meanwhile, the gaming Copilot is being rolled out to Windows 11 Game Bar and Xbox mobile app, offering in-game help like tips, achievement tracking, and contextual assistance. Well, that covers last week's top trending headlines. Let us know what you thought about this week's headlines in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.